ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our Gundam building. This is the Unicorn Gundam. We're still working on him. We're working on the weapons today. He's still a little dopey the way he stands. I gotta figure that out. I don't know what his problem is, but we're working on his weapons. Today we're gonna be working on the Beam Magnum, the Hyper Bazooka, and the Shield. But enough said. Let's get into it. I started getting the parts together for the machine gun, or the Magnum, whatever. I have it together, so we're gonna start working on that. Anyway, so last video that I was here, that we were working, I brought up my job. And I told you guys that I would explain some shit that most people don't actually know about the wireless industry, right? The way wireless actually works. And I'd like to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Because this is backwards and I'm slightly stupid. Okay, fantastic. So I was doing the right thing. Anyway. So, yeah. Wait, no, I'm still stupid. I'm doing it backwards. Anyway. So, yeah. I don't work for Verizon directly. I work for a company called Victra Wireless. Now, what the hell is a Victra? Victra is an authorized retailer under Verizon. Victra has more stores than Verizon does. As a matter of fact, I believe at present we currently have 1,600 stores nationwide. And they're expecting, or aiming, unfortunately, to have, I believe, 2,000 stores by the end of 2025. That's their goal. Now, why I say unfortunately is because they are basically killing us with sales and whatnot in order to get that goal. Now, again, I'm going to explain everything as to how this all works. Verizon, something I keep getting, a comment that I keep getting from customers is, are you a real Verizon? There is no such thing necessarily as a real Verizon. What they're referring to, what the customer's referring to, is, are we effectively a main office? Are we an authorized retail? Are we a corporate store? Are we owned by Verizon corporate, or are we a third-party entity? Which, again, the answer at that point is technically no. We're an authorized retailer. We are Victra. And I'm struggling to figure out how this all snaps together because I think it goes like this. It just does not want to get into place. Ow. Anyway. So, what the hell? This is the dopiest piece I think I've ever seen. Like, it's supposed to slide on, and it's just not sliding in. Or I think that's an alternative piece? Wait. Excuse me, I feel stupid now. I was supposed to put it right there. Okay. Anyway, back to the story. So, we are an authorized retailer. And the thing is that when it comes down to retailers, when it comes down to phone sales, Verizon is not the only company that does this. Pretty much every other carrier has authorized retailers under them. Now, it does make a difference based on which one you go to. So, for example, Victra, being that we're the biggest, we are given a little bit more in the way of liberties than other authorized retailers. So, for example, another one of our competitors, Best Wireless, they may not get the same kind of sales that we do. So, if you came into Victra and said, hey, I want to buy an iPhone 16, our deals might actually be better than Best Wireless, just because the Verizon corporate gives us better deals. That's just how it is. Now, whether or not I can tell you who has better deals at what time, I can't really tell you that. I don't know what other carriers are getting, to be honest, or what other authorized retailers are getting. I have no idea. They don't tell us that. Granted, it's probably for good reason, so, you, as the customer, would have to shop around from Verizon to Verizon to see what they're offering you. But Victra does have the better deals. One issue, though, that is present is customer service problems. So, for one, that a lot of people don't realize, when you call customer service, generally here in the US, if you're trying to dial customer service, it's 611, right? And that's for whatever wireless carrier you have. So even if you're T-Mobile or AT&T, 611 is your customer service number. And that takes you to the customer service directly. But here's the kick. If you call Verizon customer service, they tell you, yeah, go to any store. Absolutely, they'll help you. Go to any store. Now, Verizon customer service will speak for Verizon corporate. They cannot speak for Victra. And again, it's because we are an authorized retailer. They don't own us. They don't have the same connections that we do, or other way around. So, for example, I had a customer come in. He had an appointment, and he wanted to return Beats earbuds to our store that he bought from the main office. Here's the kick. Victra, we don't sell Beats. That's not a product we sell. So, I ask you, how do I refund a product that my store doesn't sell? How do you do that? Trick question, you don't. So I had to explain to the customer that I was dealing with it. I was like, no, I'm sorry, customer service, they, misled you. We don't, we don't carry this product. We can't refund it. I even got in touch with my boss. I'm like, what do we do? He's got to go to the main office. Naturally, the customer was irritated about that, wanted to fight with me on it, and I was like, sir, I can't do anything for you. I physically don't sell this product, so I can't refund it for you. It's just how it is. It's just how we are. So whatever store you had a problem with, you have to figure out who that parent company is and figure out who's responsible for your issue. So, say for example, you go to Victra and they offer you, say, $1,000 off for your phone. Verizon corporate, they don't really have to honor anything. That's the thing. So if you call them up and like, oh yeah, but the employee promised me this, cool. Verizon corporate didn't offer you that. Victra did. So your argument is with Victra, not Verizon. And this wants me to... Who the hell... Oh, that's how that works. Oh, that's actually really neat. That's actually really freaking neat. And wait, does this hold it in place? That holds it in place. That is so freaking cool. So this little bit right here, so check this out. Like, say if they wanted to reload, you slide this in, this goes forward, and that pops out because I'm an idiot. That should have snapped in place, but it didn't. But oh, that's why. Yeah, this pulls out. Slide the magazine in. Slide this forward, and then this snaps forward to keep it in place. That is so cool. I love that. This is one thing I love with Gundam builds, is the little, like, the weapons. That is so cool. I gotta come back for stickers and whatnot. I'm gonna... Oh god, stickers are gonna be a freaking nightmare. Anyway. Back to it. So. Yeah, Verizon and Victra are two different bodies, and that goes for any wireless carrier. This is the same thing with T-Mobile. I used to have T-Mobile, and I had to deal with the same problems, where a employee told me one thing, and then, oh, hey, you're supposed to get X amount on this device, just do this, but then I never did, so then I had to bounce back and forth between T-Mobile corporate, and then T-Mobile customer service, and then the other carrier, because, well, not the other carrier, but the authorized retailer that I dealt with, because they weren't corporate. So, yeah, it's a whole bouncing back and forth. Unfortunately, they send you through hoops. It's a pain in the ass. But that's essentially what you have to expect. So when you go dealing with wireless carriers, unfortunately, that is the nature of the beast. It's not a good thing, it's just the way the business is. The other thing, too, that a lot of people don't realize is that, realistically speaking, especially here on the East Coast, there's really only 3 wireless carriers. That's Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. And if you point out anybody else, like Mint or these other ones, well, that's the thing. Even if you're not paying for them directly, you're still technically paying for Verizon and its competitors, because those third-party companies like Mint, who do you think they're getting their towers from? They don't have their own towers. They're using Verizon and T-Mobile, and they're using all these other towers. So they're still, even if you wanted to avoid giving Verizon your business, in a weird way, you're still giving them your business. The other issue, too, is that you're not getting as good of a service. Whatever tower, like, for example, I think Spectrum uses Verizon's towers for cell phone service. I believe it's Spectrum. But the thing is that you're not getting Verizon's full tower. You're getting Verizon's prepaid towers. So you're not getting as good of a service. I mean, granted, it comes down to the whole thing of why would Verizon essentially support their competitors? That's really what it comes to. So, with that said, that these are little things that people know, like nobody realizes. And other thing too is thanks to net neutrality, which in my opinion is a good thing. Net neutrality. Um, the thing about it is that you, the carrier, you, the customer, you can take your phone number wherever you want to go. Essentially, it's your number. You can go wherever you want and whenever you want. Verizon doesn't do contracts anymore. I don't think any retailer does contracts, as far as I'm aware. Now it's what we call a financing agreement. So essentially, the way that works is, say I sold you a phone right now, right? Say you came to my store, Nick, I want a phone. Cool, selling it to you. I have to run your social security for one if you're a new customer. If you're pre-existing, I have to see what your financing limit is. And then what I have to do is I sell you the phone and it gets financed to your plan over 36 months. Now, whether or not you're getting some kind of deal is determined based on other factors. Do you have any payments still left on your phone? Do you, what's the word? Do you have any damage to the phone? Do you, like, it depends on your account overall. What's your financing limit? And are you maxed out? So, say your financing limit's $7,000 and you've used $5,000, yeah, I can finance you another phone. If your financing limit, though, is maxed out, that's it. I can't give you another phone. I physically cannot give you another phone until you pay off your finance, until you pay off another device. That's really it. That's just how the system is. Granted, it's kind of good because it prevents people from overbuying. But unfortunately, we still have fraud issues, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. I actually figured out something in regards to the whole fraud system and the way people are working against Verizon, essentially, and its competitors. But that is how it works. So if you came in, I have to finance it over 36 months, and you pay it off over 36 months. That's just the way Verizon is, and I hit my mic. I apologize. I don't know if... I think... not Spectrum. My God. I think T-Mobile is 24 months financing, and I don't know about AT&T. I don't know what their financing looks like. But this is just how it is. Now, granted, the real reason why they do financing is very much likely because of the fact that they want to keep you. So if you are stuck to Verizon for 2 years, then cool, that's a customer for 2 years. Now, here's the thing. Verizon does not make money off the phones. No carrier does. I think for me as a retail employee, my commission is maybe... If I sold you a phone with nothing on it, $8 to $15. That's it. Maybe $8 to $15. That's all an iPhone makes me. And even if you bought like a 1 terabyte, again, maybe $15 if I'm lucky. Where Verizon makes its money is the service, the accessories. So something I always hear from my customers is Verizon's, a lot more expensive with accessories. And honestly, that's not a lie. That is the truth, unfortunately. Verizon is definitely a lot more expensive than Amazon is, which is an issue that I always have with the company because it just makes my job harder. Because I'm always told, oh, hey, you gotta sell all this crap, and nobody wants to buy it because it's stupid expensive. And I don't blame my customers for it. It's irritating because it makes my job harder, but again, I don't blame the customer for it. Does this slide? Oh, that slides. Neat. I like stupid things like this. Anyway. But yeah, where was I going with that? So, Verizon makes money off of its service, off of accessories, things like that. That's where Verizon makes its money. So, if you ever wondered, well, the hardware doesn't make money, what does? That's what it is. So, if an employee kind of shrugs their shoulders at the phone, but they're pushing you on everything else. Oh, you got to get protection. Oh, you got to buy this case. That's why. That's where all the money goes. Now, when it comes down to fraud issues, and there's another thing. So, I've had some customers argue with me that, or not most, not a lot, but anyway, I've had customers argue with me about security measures, right? One thing I'm supposed to do is if you came in, I'm supposed to check your ID. If you're not an authorized manager on the plan, then I can't sell you a phone. Because effectively what you're doing is you're making a change to the account under somebody else's social security, which, as far as Verizon's concerned, is an issue. Um, some customers think that that's not fair. That oh hey, if I can get the text message to my phone, why is that a problem? Well, technically speaking, if you could somehow get access to the plan and then manually change your phone on there, like so, say for example, just to give you an idea, and this does go into my next topic. Say I manage to steal something, figure out somebody's phone number, somehow steal your password and your username or whatever online. I go into the account and I change a phone to my phone number real quick, right? So I'll say I steal your number, whoever and I go ahead, I get in, I change the SIM from your phone to my phone remotely because you can do eSIM now, and that's kind of an issue. Now, if I'm quick about it, I can go into the store, get the text message to verify that I'm in the account, and then what they'll end up doing is they're like, oh yeah, cool, you're in the account, whatever, sure, here, buy a phone. So basically, it's a measure to stop fraud. That's really what it is. It's to make sure that you're actually allowed to make changes. Granted, there are ways scammers are going around this, and again, I'm gonna get into that. But what I'm seeing, like I had this guy come in, and what scammers are starting to do is they're starting to make accounts ahead of time. Now, I don't know where the hell they're getting these accounts from, and they're using really dumb, cheap phones to get the account active, but this is what they're doing. I had a guy come in the other day, and he kind of gave me a little insight onto the way everything is working out. Because at this point, scammers are just kind of making our jobs even more so annoying. So, what these guys do is... Wait, oh, this is where the magazine goes. I mean, it'd be nice if it actually went in, but... Oh my god, that's so cool. Wait. Oh, I'm doing it backwards? Hold on, I'm gonna figure this out in a second. Oh, that's why it wasn't in all the way. Anyway. Oh, that's what, because I had it upside down. That explains it a lot. There we go. So it's supposed to go like this. Neat. You can see the rockets on the back. That is so cool. Anyway, going back to it. So what these guys will do... originally what they would do is they want to set up an account. Hey, here's my ID, here's my social, and they'll run everything through. And the ID is always a little off. A little bit. It's one of those things where you can look at the person, look at the ID, and go, okay, this is a big maybe. You could be this person, you might not be this person, but I don't have a lot to say against you right now. And the name on the ID matches the social, so, alright, I can't really argue against you. But, because of... I don't even know why or how, but all of a sudden scammers have started to change that method. So they'll set up the account maybe online, and they'll link it to a stupid phone, like an iPhone SE, something cheap, something that they don't have to really worry about, right? They'll come into the store, and they will get the verification code to that device. Sometimes what I've noticed is the customer will make up an excuse. Oh yeah, the phone's broken. Oh, this happened, that happened. Whatever. They'll come up with something, but somehow that broken phone still gets the text message to let me into the account. I don't have to use their 4-digit PIN. The 4-digit PIN is what we use to get into your account. So if your phone's busted, and I say, okay, cool, do you know your 4-digit PIN? So long as you know that, I can get into your account no problem. You just need to know that information. But these guys almost never use that PIN for some reason. Don't know why. But what they're doing is they have somebody somewhere with the phone waiting for that verification. Goes to their phone, and they let me into the account. They let the employee into the account. So what ends up happening now is I might be an idiot and grab the wrong part. I'm an idiot and grab the wrong part. So what ends up happening is now that I'm in the account, I verify the authorized user. All right, the ID matches. Because the other thing too is that the account will now be under somebody else's name. So for example, I had this chick come in, and after having worked retail as long as I have, I just kind of get a vibe off people where I'm like, something's not right here. Something doesn't feel right. But unfortunately, I can't just say, no, I'm not going to help you on a gut feeling. I'm not. You can't deny people service just because of a gut feeling. Yeah, you have to have a reason. But unfortunately, my gut has, as of late, been right. And what ends up happening is usually, what ended up happening is one chick. Honestly, it's probably not her real name anyway. So this chick Priscilla comes into my store, wants me to open up the account. Again, all this weirdness happens. Oh, the phone's totally destroyed, but then somehow it still got the text message to let me into the account. Okay. Weird. But okay. Get into the account, and the account's name is under, like, Wu Long or some shit, or Wu Lang. I don't remember the name, but it's an Asian person, but her name's Priscilla, but she's set as an authorized user, so I'm like, okay. So I look at the account, and I'm like, this is weird. So I check ID. She gives me a passport for her ID. So I'm like, okay. I mean, it's a fucking passport. You can't really get more official than that. But check her passport, and I'm kind of probing a little bit because it's just something ain't right. So I'm like, all right, so you're trying to get a new phone under this this gentleman's name, and she goes, well, if I have to tell you, I'm a how'd she put it? She goes, he's my sugar daddy. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, uh-huh. She's like, yeah, you know, the nightlife, and basically she's going on telling me that she's basically, a hooker, for lack of a better word. This guy's funding her or whatever. She makes all these videos online. That's basically where she's going with this. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, it's not an unreasonable story, but the thing is too is she's an authorized manager on the account, so I can't say no. Essentially, like I have nothing against this. It's like, all right, well, your name is on the list. Even though it's not your account, you are an authorized manager, so I have to assume that this is the truth. But the thing that they always do is, too, they always want the biggest phone. They go from this little rinky-dink iPhone SE to the Pro Max. Oh, I need the biggest storage possible. I need 1,000 gigs. I need, oh my god, I need the biggest, fattest balls. You know what I mean? Like, they always want the most expensive phone. So, this chick, I end up selling her the phone. I took pictures of the account just in case, because if they wanted to come back to me and be like, hey, Nick, this person claims that they never got the phone from you, because I actually had someone do that. That's one thing that these scammers will try to pull as well, where they'll say, oh, yeah, I bought the phone, but they never gave it to me. When that's totally a lie, but if if we don't fight it, then I take the full commission hit. So, like, say, for example, like I said, the phone makes me $15, say, right? Likelihood is, if we don't fight it and I don't have any means of arguing against it, I take the full hit. From what I've been told, I'll take the full hit for what the phone is worth. So if it's a $1,200 phone, that's going to be a hit to my commission. So there goes my paycheck, basically. So yeah, I'm not taking that risk if that's the case. Now, I've heard that can be the case. I don't know if that's 1,000% it. But again, I'm not taking the risk. I'm not taking that risk. So I want to make sure that I can fight it if push comes to shove. So, sure enough, about an hour later, one of my coworkers messages our group text and is like, yeah, so this chick who claimed to be an OnlyFans girl just tried to buy a phone. I'm like, what's her name? Sure enough, it was Priscilla. I started flipping out. I'm like, I knew she was bullshit. I knew it. She was claiming that her phone was broken, the whole night. I'm like, I just sold her a Pro Max. What happened to it? It broke in 2 minutes? Bull. Scammer. 1,000% scammer. So, this is the kind of shit we deal with. Now, we also had another guy who, he will come in, he'll max out his credit. So, if the financing is $7,000, he'll max that out. But the thing is that we're starting to catch him because we're realizing, again, it's BS. First time he comes in, his name's John. Next time he comes in, his name's Frank. The time after that, like he keeps changing his name. He keeps having different IDs. So at this point, we're like, bro, really? But the thing is that he comes in so infrequently. Sometimes you look at him and you're like, I know you, but I don't know you. Why do I know you? What about you that I know? Like, why do I know you? You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those. Like, you look at the guy. It's like, I know you for some reason. Why? Why is it that I know you? You know what I mean? So the last time I saw him, he of course wanted a Pro Max. He wants the biggest phone he possibly can get his hands on. And his name, of course, changed again. New ID, the whole nine. So I get into the account, something ain't right. I'm like, okay, you know what? Bro, can I see your ID? Oh, it's in the car. I'm like, can I get it? Well, it's in the car. I'm like, cool. Can you go get it? Like, he's actively trying to avoid me looking at his ID. Because he shows me a picture of it on his phone. I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna fly, bro. I need the ID. That's actually kind of cool. And the shield opens up. Oh. So, I like this. Now, if I could figure out how to open up the Gundam itself, that'd be awesome. I just can't figure that one out. I'd like to know what this is for. But again, I'm gonna figure that out little by little. Anyway. So, he runs back to his car, he gets his ID, and he hands it to me, and I'm looking at it for a second. I'm actually looking at it, and I'm like, bro, I don't think this is legit. What do you mean it's not legit? And he's like, oh, it's a real ID. I'm like, dude, look at the font. It's all wrong. Like, I call him out, and I'm like, bro, the font is fucked up. Oh, no. And he starts, he's panicking now. Wait. Oh, this is for the, oh, these are the laser swords. They pop out like this, and then these come off, and then the gun, no, those stay there. No, those stay in there. Wish these snapped in place better. They're kind of wonky as hell. But the gun can snap onto the back here. But yeah, so the guy, he, there you go. So he he immediately snatches the ID out of my hand. He did not want me looking at that ID for nothing. And I kept telling him, like, bro, sorry to say, I think this is a fake ID. No. And then he took that ID and ran out. He left immediately. He wanted nothing to do with me. He wanted to avoid me as much as he could at that point. Once I called him out, he booked it out. He did not get a phone from me. And I told him, I was like, yeah, just go to the main office. They'll sell you a phone. Sure. The second he left, he comes right back and goes, did you get out of my account? I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. I'm totally out of the account. Definitely, bro. Don't you worry about it. I'm absolutely out. Don't worry. I flagged his account for fraud. I flagged his ass, and now when he goes back to the main office, they're gonna know dude's doing dirty shit. Apparently there's a, oh wait, up here. Oh, this bit. Cool. Oh, this dude's packing. But anyway. So, yeah, yeah, the dude was just total bull. Total bull. And I'm trying to figure out how I can snap this onto our dude's, like, arm. I'm just not sure. Apparently this has something to do with it. I'm a little confused, but anyway, I'm gonna figure that out. So, yeah, this is what we're dealing with. So I've always tried to figure out these people. Like, why is it, or what do they do, right? You buy all these phones, all fraud. What are you doing with them? So this kid comes into my store last night, and he tells me that his phone's, shot and ain't working. It was just an iPhone 13. The SIM just needed to be reset. No big deal. Nothing for me as a, a retailer to think, okay, there's something weird here. But then he started going on, and he was like, hey, by the way, I sell phones. He sells phones on his own. What he'll do is he'll buy whatever phones he can. He'll buy them wherever he can. And then he sells them out to, like, South American countries like Jamaica and whatnot that don't typically get our phones. So what he's been getting, though, is that he'll have people reach out to him and be like, yeah, bro, I can get you, 100 iPhone 16s tomorrow. So the guy, he tells me, he goes, yeah, I don't question it. I just take the phones. So he was like, where do you know where they're getting these phones? I'm like, bro, I hate to tell you this, those are fraud. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you have these guys who are reaching out to you that are offering you iPhones, 16s no less. And I'm assuming they're offering you really good prices. He goes, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, and I explained him the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, they're using fake accounts, essentially. They're stealing people's social securities. And I told him, like, dude, you need to be careful. He goes, well, I don't think it's going to come back to me. I'm like, okay, but you're engaging in a system where they're stealing people's identities to buy devices through fraudulent means. That makes you liable. This kid immediately did the whole trying to defend himself thing. Not necessarily against me, but more so in the sense of like he was trying to defend himself to himself to like kind of comfort himself, like, yeah, I'm totally not at fault here. No, like basically one of those things, because he kept telling me, he's like, no, but I cover my tracks. I keep information, and I'm like, uh-huh. And what happens when they what happens when the cops decide to come looking? He's like, yeah, I guess you're right. I'm like, mm-hmm. I'm like, bud, you need to be careful. You need to be careful, because if the cops decide to start looking at you for this, even if you're legit and you're not trying to do nothing illegal, the cops aren't going to see it like that. So yeah, like I said, I had him sweating last night. This kid was sweating. Because he thought, again, he was like, no, I'm not at fault here. I'm like, sure, maybe you're innocent, but effectively you are engaging in a system that's involved directly in identity theft. For lack of a better word, this kid is involved in identity theft. Whether or not he's directly perpetrating it or not, he has a hand in it. That's the sad truth. And this kid is now sweating. I hope he doesn't think that he needs to give up on phones altogether, because, I mean, it's still decent business. I mean, he's selling to a market that doesn't get, what they want. So I don't blame him. Apparently we can... I don't know what this does. I'm confused by this. I think this is trying to show me that I can change out the horns. I also wanted to figure out how to change out the faceplate too. That's why I'm taking this apart and putting it back together and trying to figure all this out. And it's just not cooperating now. Oh, I think I see it now. But anyway. So, now, the other thing too is, right, something I wanted to get into, not just the fraud angle, but wanted to get to you guys about what it is for me as a retail employee, right? What is it that I have to do for my job? So, like I said, our company, Victra, is looking to max out by the end of the year at about 2,000 stores. They want to go up to 2,000. Unfortunately, they need Daddy Verizon's approval before they can go ahead and do that. And what that means for me as a Verizon employee is that I have to now break my ass in order to do that. We have certain sales goals. And the way our job works is we are very heavy on commission. We're very commission based. So, with that all said, the way the job works... Wait. Did I do this right? Unintentionally? This doesn't feel right. Like that chin feel... Yeah, that's way too big. It's gotta like go up in here somehow. Yeah, I want to look back at the head. But anyway, gonna go back to it. So, the way our commission works is we have what we call contribution. Contribution is whatever our gross profit is. So, for example, say I go to sell a screen protector. Screen protector, we get in store at... We the retailer, get it for $5. We go ahead and flip it for 60. So my store pays $5 per unit. You pay the customer pay 60 per unit, which, yeah, it's insane. It's definitely $60 for a screen protector is nuts. We try to argue it the best we can. Oh no, you get unlimited screen replacements throughout the lifetime of the phone through the manufacturer. Look, I know it's bullshit. I know. It's just, it's unfortunately the way the job is. But anyway, so our contribution dictates our commission. So if I go ahead and sell about $4,000 worth of merchandise, my commission is going to be 10% of that. So generally if I make anywhere between anything under 4,000 is 7%. That's my commission. If I make 4 to 7,000, that's 10%, and then if I make 7,000 plus, that becomes 14. And if we, by some grace of God, as a team, get what we call our haymaker, which is our like monthly goals essentially, then I make an additional 2%. So my commission can go up further. On top of that, if by say some grace of God, I am somehow one of the top 300 employees, then I will get 20%. And then the 2% on top of that, so I can max at about 22%. The thing is that this company doesn't really treat us all that well, honestly. During this past holiday, what they did was to try to, I guess, encourage us to sell more. They decided for the holiday to raise our contribution limits. So for me to get 10%, I needed 7,000, not 4. For me to get 14%, I needed 9,000, not 7. So they made the job like 3 times harder, which really nobody was happy with. Even the managers were pissed off by that. So, oh, I think I'm doing this wrong because I just see the way. I have no idea what I'm doing with this. Oh, wait, you know what I think? There's like little joints in there, and I think I have to snap them. Oh, that's what it is. I'm gonna have to take apart the head in order to get this to go right, because for me to get the face mask on there, because this never tells you about the face. It did. It did. I missed it. Fuck. Shitty dicks. Okay. I gotta figure out how to take this all apart now. But, yeah, so they made our jobs harder. They raised our commission rates, and they were surprised, or some of our bosses were surprised when, some employees were struggling. Well, surprise, surprise. You just made our jobs harder. The managers weren't happy about it, and it just wasn't a happy environment. On top of that, too, having to work the holidays isn't really all that fun either. But I'm not going to get into all that. The other issue, too, is they are bugging us about internet sales as well. Something I keep hearing is, oh, you got to sell to the household. So if you already have Fios, well, your grandmother who lives in your house, she's not paying for Fios, right? So why don't we get her on Fios? You'll have 2 Fioses at the same address. Oh boy. This is the stupid shit I have to put up with. And then when we explain it to our bosses, like, no, nobody wants this. None of our customers are asking for it, or all of our customers already have it. That's not an answer they want. So, we have to then argue. We essentially have to argue against it now, because then they don't want to listen, and then basically we give them the usual of, okay, yeah, whatever, boss, sure. Just the usual shrug it off kind of answer. Like, yeah, no, we'll do our best. I want to give my boss a lot of stupid answers, but those are stupid answers that I can't give, because then I will probably get fired. So I just nod my head and say okay, even though I would like to say something otherwise. But I digress. And what I would love to do right now is have this. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's how it's supposed to go. See? It only took me about 20 minutes and some rambling to get it. There we go. That's looking better now. But, yeah, no, on top of that, too, something else that we can do is we We can technically reach out to customer service for some things. We just choose not to because half the time it's really annoying, and some of what the customers want us to do is just nonsense that we physically just can't work with. Um. Oh, you mother! Fungool. Poke myself. God damn it, that hurt. Oh, that actually really. Oh, damn! I almost pricked myself. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm so sorry. Something we usually do for some customers is that we'll just tell them to go to the main office because customer service, like I said, they don't speak for us. And sometimes customer service will say, yeah, no, go to the store. They'll take care of you, when in fact they don't. Something they started doing is that we are, we're taking FiOS equipment back. So if you wanted to return your FiOS hardware, they want us to start taking it back for you. And it's just really annoying. For the longest time, we weren't doing that, yet customer service was saying that we could. On top of that, I've had some customers argue with me for things that we don't do, which again, honestly, I think the bottom line to get to this. The bottom line, because I think at this point now I'm just rambling and I'm just trying to think of what else to say. Our job is very commission focused, right? Our actual hourly pay is $16 an hour, which is nothing. And then on top of that, we have to sell enough to make, to make anything. If I just sold you a phone and that's it, again, on a plan, maybe $30, $40 if I'm lucky. That's it. So we have to push in order to make any real kind of paycheck. But bottom line of everything I'm trying to get to is that, oh, these are one of those adhesive stickers. I'm going to avoid that for right now because I don't feel like putting up with that. The bottom line is that there's a lot that goes on with wireless that a lot of people don't realize. Our commission, we're very commission focused, so we need the sales. We're not tech support. In the end of the day, a lot of the problems that we face, that I have to face with customers, is that for some reason people assume that Verizon is tech support, that if you go into a store, we're just going to give you help with your phone, and that's not always the case. Like, if it's something simple, like, sometimes I have people ask, like, okay, hey, what's wrong, why is my phone locking up on me? Which, listen, by the way, if you have an iPhone, and that shit freezes on you, and you don't understand why, the best thing I can tell you to do to fix it, even if it's an iPhone 16, this can happen to any iPhone. The best way to fix an iPhone, press the volume up, press the volume down, hold the power. Hold the power until it restarts, then let go. Don't hold the volume, just press, hold. Volume up, volume down, hold power. That'll fix pretty much most of your iPhone problems. 9 out of 10 times, my problems that I have to fix in store are literally just that. Just power off, power on, you're done. That 9 out of 10 times, that's what I have to do to fix a customer's phone. Literally, it's just restart the phone. And sometimes to kind of break balls a little bit, I will do that, where I'll just sit there and let a customer complain, like, oh my god, my phone's not working, and all this shit, and I'm like, yeah, here you go, it's done. What'd you do? Like, I restarted it. That's it? I'm like, yeah, that's it. Have a nice day. And they kind of just look at me like, huh, why didn't I think to do that? Like, yeah, bud. Just, there you go. But, yeah, again, I do that usually just to break balls. But, a lot of the issues that we do is tech support, which that does hurt me too. One thing that the company has is we have a tracker above the door that I'm going to start working on some of these stickers. So I have like the on the side. So it actually looks nice. Anyway, one of the things that our company does is that we have a tracker above the door that tells us how many people are coming into the store. So that's our conversion rate. So if you come in, and the stupid thing is, if you and all your kids come in, it's all under one account. Well, I better be getting into your account 4 or 5 times to compensate for the 4 or 5 people that just came into my store, even though we're only buying one device. This is the kind of stupid shit my company does. On top of that, our company, right, for me to punch in every day, I have an app on my phone that I have to sign into. That app requires 24/7 tracking. Now, Victra says that they are not tracking us 24/7. At least that's what they claim. They're like, no, it doesn't, the app is geolocated, but we're not tracking you. But the thing that bugs me isn't that whether or not they are tracking, it's whether or not they can track. Because if you go into the application and you set it to track while in use or track only when in use, what ends up happening is the app crashes. And that's what sets me off. That's what bugs me out because it's like, okay, cool. So what this tells me is that the app technically does have 24/7 tracking. So even if I'm not using the app, even if I'm not actively trying to like I'm off today. I'm not working today. But technically speaking, that app is still tracking me. Even if they're not monitoring it, it's still tracking my location. That's what bugs me. It's not the fact that whether or not they are looking at it, it's the fact that they can look at it. That's what bothers me. And I'm required by the company to use this app. I'm not happy about it. Believe me, I don't want to use it. And the day I quit this job is going to be a very happy day that I get to terminate that app and never use it again because I don't want it. It creeps me out that they can technically do that. Um, Me personally, I don't care whether or not they hear me. Maybe if they heard some of the employee criticisms of the company, maybe they would change things to fix it. Because honestly, my biggest gripe with this company is they're too money focused. They're too sales focused. And that's what hurts our relationship with the customers because in the end of the day, it really does come down to that final idea of, cool, if you're not buying anything, leave. Like the old saying goes, money talks, bullshit walks. If you're here just to bug me about some problem that you're having with the company, you're not buying anything, unfortunately, all you're doing is making my job harder because now the company, because again, going back to the whole tracking thing, what Victra sees is that a customer walked into the store and didn't buy anything. So it's not that the customer wasn't interested in conducting business, it's that me as the retail employee, I didn't do my job. That's the way they see it. I didn't do my job. I didn't sell you anything. So, as far as the company's concerned, I didn't do my job. So, when a customer walks in and doesn't buy anything, technically they're making my job harder. Some people will come in literally looking to just charge their phones. Oh, hey, yeah, you're a phone store, right? Can I just, plug my phone in for 5 minutes? Like, no. Because again, you walked in, the door tracked you, so it knows you're here, but you're not buying anything. So, you're hurting my job. You're making my job harder now because now I have to. Now the next time a customer walks in, I have to sell something. And if I keep having people walking in for stupid stuff like can I charge my phone? You're just making the job harder because now the company is looking at me more. You know what I mean? Like it's just that kind of stupid crap that goes on. And the shield now does not want to drop. Oh, okay. Is this not supposed to go further? Yes, it is. This is supposed to go all the way down there, I think. Hmm. Yeah, because that's supposed to be visible. This shield's supposed to go lower. Yeah, no, this is, oh, there we go. That's how it's supposed to look. That looks neat, actually. But anyway, so, yeah, what was I getting to? So, this is the crap that I have to put up with this company, which is why I can't wait to get out of it. It's just, I'm tired of selling. Honestly, I'm tired of the way customers are, because I've also had a lot of, like, snobby, pretentious assholes come into my store and make demands like as if I can make changes to their account for some reason. Like I had a guy try to assault me. Straight up had a guy try to assault me. Um, Long story short, one of my coworkers screwed up his bill. I tried explaining to him why the bill was what it was. He didn't like the answer. Basically, he was expecting me to change the bill, but granted, I have no power in that. Which is like I said, Victra, we don't. There's some things we just physically can't do. Altering your bill is one of those things. That's a customer service issue. Didn't want to hear it, wanted to argue with me, came around the counter, tried to assault me. So, that was fun. Had to call the cops on him. Wait a minute. Did I put the wings on backwards? Motherfucker, I put the wings on backwards. God damn it. Because it's supposed to go here. There we go. Trying to put these stickers on, I just realized I put the damn thing on backwards. Can I flip this? If I could just pop this real quick. I think I fucked it up. Where's my keys? There we go. There we go. So if I can just wiggle these out, flip them around, and we should be good. There we go. That's better. There we go. That is what we're looking for now. That's how it should look. There we go. Yeah, no, I've had customers try to assault me. I had a guy, I remember, come in like, a fireball. I want to speak to your manager. Okay. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, but okay. Go to talk to the guy. Guy's all heated up, demanding that he gets credits on his account and all this other stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I didn't, don't know what the hell's wrong with his account. Everything looks fine to me. Hand him a receipt for his transaction. He goes, oh, that's all I wanted. And then just leaves. I'm like, what? Why? Just genuinely, just why? So, this dude just, like I said, came in like a fireball for no good reason whatsoever. And just, all he wanted was a receipt from his original transaction. That's all he wanted. And I'm like, that's all he had to ask for. So, yeah, we get treated like shit from our customers. We get treated like shit from our company. Overall, my advice to you, don't work wireless. Don't work in wireless. These companies don't treat their employees good at all. They expect absurd sales numbers, and on top of that too, a lot of our customers just suck. A lot of them suck. Some of them are really nice, and I often have people asking me if I want coffee, because they take it as me going out of my way to help them, when in fact I'm not really going out of my way. I'm just doing part of the job. So I do have some very polite customers who are very nice, and I really do appreciate helping them out. Some customers drive me up a wall. Like, I had this one old woman come in, and her phone wasn't charging, so she started going into a total panic. And I had to, I look over her phone, and she's like, "Oh my god, I can't charge it," and she's panicking, crying, on the verge of tears. I plug her phone into my wall charger. I'm like, "No, your phone's fine. There's nothing wrong with the phone, lady." And she's like, "Oh, okay." The lady had to be bipolar or some shit. There was something wrong with her. Had to be. Had to be something wrong with her. But yeah, no, bitch was just crazy. And again, I get those people too. Anyway, overall, I'm rambling at this point. I'm just trying to think of what else to say. Oh, that's what I wanted to get to. One other thing. So Verizon security, despite everything else, is actually pretty top-notch. Supposedly, from what I heard, we had an employee a while ago, before I started. Dude was trying to sell account information online for customers. He was stealing people's account information and trying to flip it to make a profit. Come to find out that Verizon knew exactly what he was up to, and maybe within an hour of him making that post, they're like, "Oh, hey, who wants to buy account information from me?" Dude was terminated right then and there. Did this on Telegram, but apparently got terminated right then and there. So the one thing I do have to give Verizon credit for is that their security is really on point. So they are actively doing what they can to stop scammers and whatnot, especially if they're employees. That's something I do have to give them credit for. So credit where credit is due. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of tell you guys a little bit of what I put up with this job and what actually goes on with wireless jobs. If you've ever wondered, hey, why does my carrier act like this? Why is it I can't get any real customer service help? What's up with this? It's really just how the system is. The biggest problem too with wireless is that there's only 3 real carriers. So our problem is monopoly. That's really what it comes down to. Is it's a monopoly. You have all these carriers who, for lack of a better word, don't really compete against each other. They just take sales. That's really it. That's all it comes to, is just sales. Because if you're pissed off at Verizon, you're gonna go to AT&T, and then eventually you can get pissed off at AT&T, go to Spectrum. You're gonna get pissed off at them, come back to Verizon. Before you know it, you're just bouncing carriers. It happens. I've had customers do that. I've had customers literally admit to me that they've had one carrier, got fed up with it, left, went to another carrier, got fed up with them, left, and people just keep doing this. And the thing is, because there's so few carriers, you're just gonna come back. So Verizon will just shrug their shoulders and go, "Cool, have a nice day. Go ahead, leave. Go to another carrier. Come back later. We'll see you later. See you soon." Like, that's literally what it is. But yeah, again, I apologize. I feel like I lost my train of thought a number of times, but I was also trying to focus on putting this together, which I think the shield came out nice. I think it did come out nice. I'm not really looking forward to building this big butthole. Mostly because it looks like a lot. What the? Oh, son of a bitch! This snapped off. Son of a mother. But yeah, like I said, I'm honestly at a point with this job where I don't really care anymore, and I'm just kind of looking for the door. It's just a matter of when at this point, not if I'm gonna quit, but when. But here, before I wrap this video, I wanted to show you guys the final build. I don't know if I'm gonna work on the stickers this video. Maybe I'll do it next video, but this is what we got going on, and I think this really came out cool. I just want to figure out how to properly do like the. Okay, that fell off. Great. I want to know how to like figure out how to probably do the whole unfolding thing that this thing is designed to do. I just have to figure that out because I have no idea how he's supposed to properly like fold out and whatnot. But again, gonna figure that out later. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Again, I apologize if this came more of a vent session or anything. I just, like I said, I wanted to tell you guys about this stuff because I feel like this is stuff that a lot of people don't realize about wireless carriers, and figured take the opportunity to give you guys a little bit of insight as to what goes on. Definitely my advice, avoid them if you can, in terms of employment at least. In terms of employment, don't work for wireless. It's a stressful line of work. They're very, very money focused. Weirdly enough, one thing I do want to point out is that something that's like I've noticed that's on fucking point is some of the songs that they play over the radio are just too on the nose. I'm sitting here working with a customer, ringing them out, and I hear one song where chick's singing, what's the lyric, like, I count this money like 1, 2, 3. Another one is you sell you sell me so well. So it just, some of these lyrics, it's like, bro, really, you're like these songs about making money and selling shit, and you're doing this in a store where everyone bitches and moans that we were too expensive. Like, come on, it's just so on the nose. You can't ignore it. You know what I mean? It's something I've picked up on many times. Like, bro, what is with this song? But anyway, little tidbit I wanted to point out. Regardless, I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Another reason why I keep saying I can't wait and hope that YouTube becomes something serious for me, because I would love to be able to quit retail and never look back. But nevertheless, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, enjoy this channel. If you enjoy my content, if you enjoy my buildings, likes, dislikes, bell icon, comments are what helps this channel to grow, get us to new users, and I appreciate your help. If you want to come hang out with me, link in the description below for the Discord, where we hang out, chat, and game with one another. I do on the occasion do community events there as well, so feel free to pop in there and say hey. Other than that, I'd appreciate if you guys could subscribe and follow me on Twitch. But with that all said, lads, thank you guys. You are all awesome. Have a fantastic night. I will see you come the next build or next video or whatever the hell else I figure to do. So, thank you guys. Have a good night.